And good morning. Please confirm if I am clearly audible.
Yes, sister, you're right.
Thank you so much, brother. Can you also please share the screen for us?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, today we are going to start fresh Murli as of 27th March 1982. The heading of the Murli is The Seed Stage and Alokik Experiences. So Baba has given detail about how to experience alokik, how to have alokik experiences, and how to have experience of seed stage as well. And once we attain the seed stage, what different experiences we get. That's what Baba has explained in a detailed form today. So we'll directly start with the Murli. The Father who lives beyond sound takes all of you from the world of sound, beyond sound, with sound. With the help of sound, Father takes you all beyond sound. Bapdada comes in order to take you back with him. So, are you all ever ready to go back with him, or do you still need time to get ready? In order to go back with him, you need to become a point. In order for you to become a point, all the different types of expansion that have spread everywhere, that is, all the branches of the tree, have to be merged into the seed stage. So all things that are expanded, that needs to be merged into seed seed stage. Now what those expansions are, that is what Baba is explaining in detail. Everything has to be merged into a point. When people of the world do all their accounts, what do they say at the end of the accounts? They say Shiv. That is a bindi, a point. In the same way, from the beginning to the end, you have gone into so much expansion of the accounts of the world cycle and the Kalpa tree. You do know the branches of your accounts. That is the tree of expansion. Do you not? So Baba is asking, do you know what kind of expansions you have made throughout the cycle? There are branches of the accounts of the body, branches of the relationships of the body, branches of being a soul in a bondage to all the different facilities of body, branches of bondage to gurus on the path of devotion, branches of bondage to all the different types of sinful actions, branches of the suffering from karma. So these are multiple bondages or branches, that is the expansion of this tree that we have made through all this cycle. Body consciousness, body relationships, then facilities of body, sukh suvidha, then bondages of guru that we had in our past for the devotion, then branches of sinful actions, bondages of those actions, and branches of suffering from karma. So, whatever actions we have performed, we are also suffering their consequences. So, those bondages are also there, and those branches are also there. There is so much expansion. So, You are now becoming points and putting a full stop to all the expansion. Have you merged all the expansion into the seed, or is there still some expansion? So Baba is asking, have you merged everything or something is still left behind? So that's what we need to check today. No type of branch of this decayed tree still remains, does it? The confluence age is the age to finish the old tree. Therefore, O Brahmins of the confluence age, have you finished the old tree? So Baba is asking to all of us, have you finished this expanded decayed tree? You can't water every leaf. When you water the seed, it means all the leaves receive water. Similarly, you have to finish the tree of all the different types of accounts of 84 birds. You don't have to finish each branch individually. Today, you finish the branch of the awareness of the body, and tomorrow, you finish the branch of the relationship of body. Completion won't take place by finishing each branch individually in that way. So Baba is saying this is just like the normal tree. When you need to water the tree, you can't go and water each and every leaf separately. You need to water the seed. In the same way, if you try to cut branches separately of this expansion, they are going to come back again. So you need to water the seed. Now, what that means into spiritual way, that we'll see further. Completion won't take place by finishing each branch individually in that way. However, by loving the Father, the seed, completion will easily happen through that fire of love. It's not that you have to cut them off, you have to burn them off. Today, you may cut them off, but after some time, they then begin to emerge again because a tree takes water naturally from the atmosphere. When a tree grows large, there is no need especially to water it. The tree continues to grow naturally through the atmosphere and it stays upright through that. Therefore, there is now no need to water the decayed tree that has expanded so much. It continues to grow automatically. You may think that today, by making efforts, you have finished the branch of the awareness of relationships of the body. However, unless you burn it, the branches will start to grow again. So, just like that tree, this tree also don't need watering each and every leaf, because like Baba said, atmosphere helps to grow the branches. So even if any branch, you cut any branch, it will grow automatically through the water and the other powers of the atmosphere. Just like that, in our life as well, if we cut one branch, it will grow again because of the atmosphere, because we have very negative and all influential atmosphere outside that influences and that helps to grow that branch all over again. So Baba says you don't need to cut it, you need to burn it out. Okay. However, unless you burn it, the branches will start to grow again. You then said to yourself, or you tell the Father that you destroyed it. So, how did it emerge again if no longer existed? So, where did it come from? What is the reason? You cut it off, but you didn't burn it. A seed that is roasted in a fire never bears fruit. So now finish the tree of the expansion of accounts in the fire of love. So Baba is giving example that tree, that seed, once it's burnt, roasted, it cannot bears fruit. Just like that, this tree you need to burn these branches with the love of fire of love, and that love for the God. Through that fire only these branches will will burn out, not cut down, will burn out. So now finish the tree of the expansion of accounts in the fire of love. What will then remain? When the expansion of the body and the relationships and facilities of the body have all finished, all that will then remain will be the soul, the point, the seed. When you become such a point, the form of a seed, you will be able to return home beyond sound with the father, the seed. So, to return to home, you need to have that seed stage. And how to attain that stage? That's what Baba explained, that you need to burn all the branches of different bondages that are created throughout the cycle. So, once you burn them in the fire of love of Baba, love of God, only then you will be able to go beyond sound with the seed father. This is why you are asked whether you are ready to go beyond the sound. Have you finished all expansions? The father, the seed, will only take souls with him who are in the seed stage. Have you become the form of a seed? Those who are ever ready will continue to have Alokik experiences from now. So, who have already done or who are faster in this path to attain this stage, Baba says they will continue to have Alokik experiences right from now. And what will they experience? So first Baba has told us how to attain the seed stage. Now with that seed stage, what kind of experiences we will get into our life, that is what Baba is explaining. The first thing you will experience is that whilst walking, moving, sitting and talking, your body, which is the main trunk of the tree of the accounts from which the branches emerge, will be completely separate from you. From you, the soul, the seed. So, soul will experience that it is completely separate from this body. And Baba said that body is the main trunk of all of these branches. These branches come out of this trunk. That is body consciousness. So once the first experience we will have while doing everything outside, talking, walking, all the physical activities, even if we are doing them, we will feel that I am a soul different from this body. That will be the actual experience of attaining the seed stage. You, the soul, will repeatedly and constantly experience being detached, not on the basis of the knowledge of the soul being separate from the body, but of you, the soul, being separate from your body. So it will not be on the basis of knowledge, because the knowledge that we already have, but it will be a real experience that I am the soul who is actually different, separate from this body. You will experience being completely separate, just as you experience your physical body to be completely separate from the clothes you wear. In the same way, your body is the costume of you, the soul. So that's how you will feel it. Just like your clothes are different from this physical body, you will feel that me, the soul, is acquiring or wearing this body as the clothes. So it will be in that, that will be the intensity of the experience. That's what Baba want to say. Experience this clearly. I, the soul, am wearing this costume. Whenever you want, adopt the costume of the awareness of the body and become detached from it when you want. That is, stabilize in the stage of being detached from the awareness of the body. So, wearing the costume means being in the consciousness of that costume, awareness of the body, and removing that costume means detached from your own body and feeling that stabilized stage of being detached from the body. Do you experience such detachment? Now we are going to examine, or we are going to check inside all these experiences that Baba is going to tell us how frequently we are experiencing them into our day to day life. Because in yoga, in when we sit in meditation, it is but obvious because we are sitting for that only. So naturally we are going to feel it with the help of Baba's power. But into when we are in action, when we are in physical world and interacting with people, at that stage, at what extent we are able to experience this, that's what we need to check out. Do you experience such detachment? Do you adopt your costume, or does the costume adopts you? Which is living? Who is the master? So the first sign is the experience of detachment. It isn't that you have to become separate, but that you are separate. So it's not that you have to become separate. You are already separate. You just need to keep that awareness with you all the time. That's why Baba asked, who is live, you or your costume? Who is having that consciousness? The soul is having consciousness. So the body is just the costume. That is what Baba says you need to experience while interacting, while being in the world. The second sign of experience, devotees who have some knowledge of the soul, or those who have some knowledge of God, have the vision of a point of light. That vision is the temporary thing, sakshatkar. A vision is not the fruit of your practice, it is part of the drama and a blessing. However, to be ever ready means that a soul who has become equal to return with the Father will not see a soul in a vision, but will, through the intellect, constantly experience himself to be a soul, a point of light in a practical way. So Baba is giving example of those devotees who who get this vision or sakshatkar of a point, and they feel that we had a vision of God. Even if it is a soul, they don't understand it's a soul or it's actually the supreme soul's vision. But Baba says you don't need to think through that perspective, or you don't need to think about seeing the vision, but you need to experience yourself into the body, that you are separate from the body, or you are a point of light. So you don't need to think about vision of point of light, but you need to practically feel that you are a point of light. To become the practical form means to be that for to be that for all time, whereas to have a vision is a temporary thing. A soul who is the practical form never says that he hasn't had a vision of the soul. He wouldn't say, I haven't seen it, but he would be stable in that practical form through his own experience. So Baba says, who is having the practical experience will never say that I haven't seen the soul or I haven't had any vision of it, because they don't need to have it. They are actually experiencing that they are that soul, that point of light in their day to day life, or in the, even if they are inside the body, they can experience it. So they will never wait, or they will never want to have that kind of visions, because that's a temporary thing. Where there is the practical form, there is no need for a vision. Similarly, someone who experiences the practical form of being a soul will say with authority and faith that he doesn't just see the soul, but that he experiences himself to be a soul. That is a difference in a vision and a practical experience. So they'll never say that I have seen or I haven't seen, but they will practically become the form of soul, or being a soul. They don't need to see the visions, and because they have experience, they will say this with authority and faith. A second. Okay, so I'll just, okay. Similarly, someone who experiences the practical form of being a soul will say with authority and faith that he doesn't just see the soul, but that he experiences himself to be a soul, because when you experience it, then just seeing the soul is meaningless. Hmm. Therefore, a soul who has the practical experience of being a soul will continue to experience his form of light whilst walking and moving around. Third experience, a soul who is equal, that is, an ever ready soul, although being in a corporeal world, in a physical body, will constantly use his the intellect's power of yoga to experience himself to be with the Father, whether in the subtle region or in the incorporeal world. In a second, he will become a resident of the subtle region. In a second, he will become a resident of the incorporeal world. And in a second, he will become a karma yogi, living in the corporeal world. So, this is the third experience, the soul who is ever ready soul, that is, who is uh, experiencing that he is a soul. Baba says that he will be able to shift the consciousness uh, faster, or I would say whenever he wants. In a second, that soul can experience himself in incorporeal world with the seeds, in the seed stage with Father. In a second, it can jump to subtle world with Brahma Baba into Alokik, Sukshma Vatan, the subtle world, and within a second, that soul comes back into the body, doing all the activities that he is doing in this corporeal, the physical world. So that's how faster he will be able to shift from one stage to another stage. Okay. Become a resident and living, okay, in the corporeal world, playing his part and performing actions. So this is how he will play his part, and he will switch from one stage to another. He will experience himself to be with the Father in the subtle region and in the incorporeal world innumerable times. As soon as he has time, he will go to the subtle region or the incorporeal world. Just as whenever you have time, you go to home, so he will experience himself being a resident of the subtle region and the incorporeal world. So it will no more become be a part that I will go there or I will attain. It will be like he's just changing, just like in Lokik world. We are one at one times we are in the office. After some time, when we feel, we can go back to home, or we are somewhere else doing something, and when we feel to be rested or to feel or to experience rest, we can go back to home. Just like that, the soul will do same thing, not in bodily form, but the soul will be able to switch its state of mind into this way. Whenever soul wants to work, it will come into corporeal world. Whenever soul wants to work, even in sitting in the office, soul will be able to go into incorporeal world or the subtle world for the rest of few minutes, few seconds, just like we do in traffic control for 1 minute. Even if we are working, we can do it within a second, and we can stay there for a minute. So that's how that soul will be able to switch the stages. And because he's able to do it, he will experience himself as a resident of subtle world and incorporeal world. Just like we are feeling that I am resident of Pune, I am resident of whatever place we are living, where we are living, wherever. In the same way, I am the resident of incorporeal world. That will be a natural experience of that soul. When you finish your work, you return home, or do you still stay at work? So Baba is asking, in your corporate world, do you stay at work or you go back to home? Similarly, a soul who is ever ready will repeatedly experience himself to be a resident of that home. It is as though the home is just in front of him. 1 minute he is here, and the next minute he is there. He will come out of the room of corporeal world and go into the room of the incorporeal world. So Baba has bring all three worlds into one house. Your one room is corporeal world, your another room is your incorporeal world, and other third room is your subtle world. So it's like a house, and you will be able to switch like that all the time. Okay. He will come out of the room of the corporeal world and go into the room of the incorporeal world. So this is how this experience will help, or this is how we feel when we will attain that seed stage. So these are different experiences that Baba specifically mentioned. There are few others as well. So other experiences, because of being free from bondage, such souls who are equal experience themselves to be flying birds and flying very high. They would feel that they are stable in an elevated stage above, and that everyone else is down below. I am high above all. Scientists use the power of science to be able to go into space, away from the gravity of the earth, which remains down below. They experience themselves to be very high and constantly very light. So, too, with the power of silence, you will experience yourself to be beyond the attraction of the vices and the attraction of matter in the flying stage, and above everything. So this will be another experience. We'll always feel we are flying above all, above of everything, above of all vices, all this materialistic world, and we always feel very light. We'll feel ourselves we are very light, because unless we are light, we can't fly. So this will be the another experience of a seed stage. This means that you would constantly experience yourself to be double light. To experience flying is to be beyond all attractions and remain above them. Meaning of experiencing that you're flying means you're beyond all attractions. Nothing from this materialistic world can pull you down and can attract you, but you are always beyond those attractions. It is to be free of all bondages. To experience this stage means to experience the highest flying stage. and to be in the flying stage. So, experiencing that stage and to constantly remain in that stage, both the things. It's not just experiencing for a while and coming down or getting pulled down due to the gravity of vice and sins and all the matter or materialistic world, not get to pull down, but experiencing the stage and constantly remaining in that stage. That's important. Whilst walking and moving, you would feel that you are going with the Father, that you are flying with the Father, the point, that you are a point, and that both of you are going together. So, when you're flying, you will feel all these things that you're always with the Father, flying with the Father, and going beyond with the Father. And because you're going beyond with the Father, which means always you're together, you're always with the Father. A soul who is equal will experience this as clearly as if he is seeing it. Seeing through the eye of experience is even clearer than seeing through divine vision. Do you understand? Even though we'll just finish here because I'll just complete this para. It's 5:30 already. So I'll just complete these 3 4 lines and then we'll stop for today. Okay. Seeing through the eyes of experience is even clearer than seeing through divine vision. Do you understand? Even though there is a lot of experience, these are just a few signs like this that Baba has told you in essence. So, this is all essence. All right, there are so many more experiences. Therefore, are you ever ready like this? That is, are you an embodiment of experience? You are ready to go with the Father. Are you not? Or will you say that something still remains? Do you experience this, or have you become so busy in service that you have even forgotten your home? You are serving in order to enable souls to receive their inheritance of liberation and liberation in life. So you're serving for them to go into liberation in life. While doing this, Baba is saying, don't forget that you are also going to go home. So don't get too much occupied with the service that you forget the home and you forget to attain the seed stage. Om Shanti. We'll finish it here today and continue tomorrow with the remaining part. Now we'll have 1 minute and then we'll start sharing our views. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Yes. Who's going to share first? Your takeaway points for today?
Shanti sister, good morning.
Om Shanti. Good morning.
Baba has reminded again here in this Murli that this is the confluence age and that this time is much different than the Kali Yuga. So if you can remember in the in this consciousness of confluence age that you're much elevated, it's a different time and different consciousness, then you can experience some detachment from the past. And the second point is the last line that you mentioned, that we have to go home.
Yeah.
Remaining attached to the present time, present activity would keep you away from it and create a lot of delay. Just like how you have to leave your office and come back home sometime in the day, you have to
Hmm.
also get detached from this body and remain in the consciousness. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you very much, brother. Yes. Anyone else?
Om Shanti,
Om
Om Shanti,
Shanti.
Yogita Ben.
Om Shanti, Ben.
Oh, I think we have already practiced and experienced what we call as the seed stage. When I
Hmm.
just say the seed stage, it's like, see, the tree grows, grows, grows. And then see
Hmm.
the magic Baba is saying, now just press it down, press all the branches, go
Hmm.
down, 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 and just go and merge with the seed. Just become equal. So that's like becoming equal to the creator, to the father, equal with father. So, but
Yes.
in that process, you're actually full of knowledge, full of virtues, and full of power. This is what we have actually learned how to do it. What is that introversion? But today, when Baba speaks, it's actually a different story. He
Hmm.
speaks about not the branches of the tree, but the branches of my accounts. So many accounts, he's saying. And each one of them, he's saying, if you want to get merged, no cutting, burn. And
Burnt.
burn how? With the fire of love. See, all this, what Baba gave in the first part of the Murli was knowledge. But
Hmm.
in the experiences, there are so many, like I am not I adopt the clothes, and all those at least gives you the first lesson. And when somebody else sees me, that's okay. But what I liked it in this point of an ever ready soul is I can walk, move with the Father in space. See, that's what I like. Once I merge, walking with Him like a point. See, just
Yeah.
see, it's so funny to see two points walking up on the space. So I
Yeah.
think I like that Alokik experience of walking up in the space, moving in between like a point. That was my best takeaway today. The second one was, of course, going from one room to other. It's just
Mhm.
changing costume. But I loved this moving with the father point to point. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Very nicely mentioned that, sister. And yes, the last point that was about seva. The Baba says, don't be too much occupied into service that you forget your home. Because even if we see our four subjects, the service is the last one. Definitely, it's the important one, but it is the fruit of all the previous stages. So once knowledge, once I understand, once I become it, once I implement it, only then I'll be able to do, or only then I'll be able to serve the world. But now Baba says don't get too much or too much influenced in the service, that in this expansion of service you forget the seed, and you forget that you are also going to go back to home, because you're teaching or you're serving the world for that reason only, that they will attain their liberation in life, mukti and jivan mukti. So this is what you're also going to do. So have the balance. That's what basically Baba is saying. Yes, anyone?
And
Yeah,
and the
yes.
underlying point, you see one point.
Mm-hmm.
I am not the Himalaya. I don't see the Himalayas. I am the Himalayas. It's not
Exactly.
seeing a vision, but becoming the vision. I think that's the
Exactly.
most important point he said. You don't see like devotees see because that is temporary. But
Mm.
I am the Himalayas. It is me. I am that. So I think that was the most important point, the underlying point in the whole motivation.
Yes. Very true. Yes. Anyone else?
Yeah, optionally. So Baba says that when the expansion of the body and the relationship and the facilities, right? So all that is finished. All that has to be finished, and then we have to really remain as a point and then
Yes.
experience the point form. So when we become that point, right? So Baba says, make it clearly that the Father is the seed and we are also the seed. And when we become that only, then He will be able to take us souls back home with Him. So it's very important to have that sort of a stage, become ever ready for that. And then we have to experience that. So it's more of than realizing, more of knowing. It's we have to something we have to experience.
Yes.
So
Yes. Very
this,
true. Yeah.
yeah, this is the takeaway from for today. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, this is what Baba sometimes says. The first lesson is itself everything. Once we actually practically attain that, everything will be covered in that, because we, I mean, we can see this from the very first Murli, or even not just Avyakta Murli, from the very first day when Baba descended on this earth. He's but sometimes we also say, or I don't know, but I have heard this from so many uh, family members. Sometimes they say there is nothing new in the Murli. Every day Baba says, remember me, become a soul, remember me. But then I just felt that even if Baba is telling this for the last 80 years, no one has yet become it except for Brahma Baba, or first of all to Brahma Baba. And even if dadis and all seniors are also quite near to that stage, but even after complete angelic form, if we consider, it's only Brahma Baba who attained that. So even after 80 years, if we don't attain, then we really do not have any right to say that there is nothing new in the Murli. Actually, everything is new in the Murli unless we attain it. So it is the first subject, the first lesson, but I think the first lesson is the only last lesson. Once we attain it, everything will be sorted out. So seed stage and being in soul consciousness is the most important, or is the only thing that we need to attain. And if we really see all the purushart that we are doing, we're actually doing all of this just for that 1 second paper, when we will attain, or when we will show that yes, even everything is happening around me, I am in that particular stage. Like Baba said, it is a paper of 1 second, but that 1 second intensity of that paper, that question paper, is so high that we take our entire life to attain that stage, or to be able to stable in that stage. So it's a very the highest paper, I would say, in the world. Nothing can go beyond this. That takes 80 years to learn. I don't think that anything in the world can take 80 years to learn. We are still learning that.
And if you take this Laukik and Alaukik, right? So in Laukik, the paper and the question paper is not really declared, but the date and time is declared for the
Yes.
examination, right? But here the question is declared, but the date and time is not declared in Alokik.
Yes, that's a very nice point. I like that because Baba says sometimes this in Murli that your question paper is already declared. You know what to do into paper. It's just time that is not declared. So because Baba wants us to be ever ready because it can come at it any time. There is no mentioned or specific time for this paper. Anyway, we are every day facing this paper, but the final paper that is going to be at the time of end or at the time of actual transformation of the world, that will be the final paper. So the small papers, if we are able to pass them, then definitely, because that practice, that experience of whole life is going to be there with us for that final paper. It's a very nice point that question paper is declared. It is already leaked, but the time is not leaked. So we need to be ready for that. Yes. Anyone else? Any other point?
Uh, Yogita, when Baba was speaking about the first experience,
Mm-hmm.
especially about the body and the clothes and the body. I am not the clothes, but I wear the clothes. I was just, reading. My mind suddenly went to some of these sayings. Actually, Baba
Mm-hmm.
is telling us not to do like that in the real
Mm-hmm.
gross sense, but I remember Vardhaman Mahavir and all the Tirthankara, the 24th Tirthankara, when he went in his final days when he was going into enlightenment and all, nothing, everything, his the clothes went rotten, the clothes left the body, everything of his event, what he got, he was eating, that kind of awareness which he had, I was just relating it. That, of
Yeah.
course,
Right.
I just used to think, how can it be? Of course, Baba is not telling us go about and remove the clothes and all do, but he's telling us
Exactly.
to do it with the intellect, with the
Yes.
powerful intellect. So that's the difference. But I have already read these stories of some of these saints and all, and I used to think, how is it possible? So just see that stage, even what they have reached in a gross sense or whatever sense, for us it looks gross. But for them it looks like they are beyond all that. I mean, we
Exactly.
have examples of that. But here Baba is, of course, using the intellect because that's what he gave us when he chose us, he changed our intellect.
Exactly. That's the difference into Baba's knowledge and the others because up to some extent they do understand these things and they attain into their own way, but somewhere they take it in a physical way. I mean, in some sort of materialistic way. That's why the example that you have given, because the clothes doesn't mean these clothes that we are wearing on this materialistic cloth, that is body, but they're taking it in a actual actual materialistic way, and that's why they're doing such things. But yes, to some extent they attain things, but that's what Baba is saying, because limitations, maryada, everything needs to be taken care about this. And it is about subtle, it is not about this world, or it is not about this materialistic world around us. It is about the inner world. The mind needs to be detached from the body. That's how that cloth Baba is saying. But yes, everyone have their own way of interpreting the highest knowledge. So they're trying their best. But finally, Baba is Baba. So his ways are always different. Yeah, that's true. Baba also given an example of scientist, that scientist uses the power of science to be able to go into outer space away from the gravity of the earth. That gravity word is also having very much we can say no in meaning, because after that Baba said that you also need to fly, and you don't feel that you're getting pulled down because of the gravity of the vices and the sins and the outer world also. So gravity is about our own karma's gravity as well, our past karmic accounts, that gravity, and addition to that, the attraction of the materialistic world. So if we actually say the gravity is too much powerful, it actually pulls us down. So that's why Baba says, when you are walking, when you're into the activity, you need to feel this, because when we sit into meditation, it is quite possible, or it is because we are doing only that, but while we are into interactions, we need to feel that we are above, we are flying. And at that time, because specifically when we are with the outside world, when we are in Baba's home with family, then also we are able to do. But when we are in outer world, in our workplace or somewhere else, in our relatives, neighbors, at that time, because we are surrounded with that complete gravity of the worldly attractions, the negative environment as well, because the thought process of other people is quite different from what we are having, and also our own karmas, past karmas, also past karmas accounts as well. So we need to, you know work against that gravity. That pull is very powerful, so we need to take care of that as well. That's also a
Uh,
nice point.
Yeah, but you spoke of gravity, sister.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a very good scientist to explain these things and all. But see,
Mm-hmm.
after a particular place, beyond space, when they
Yeah,
say when you go beyond that, it doesn't pull you down. So I often
exactly.
tell Baba, Baba, this space where we have come down to these vices is what you have created. You left us. You are sitting there high up in Paramdam for 4,900 years, and then you come down. So we forgot the space in between, and something pulled us down to this gravity. And then, of course, he speaks about vices and all. But sometimes I tell Baba, even you should take, you went away. Why did you leave the first child away from you just because he wanted to have an experience? I say, but I mean, that's just a childish way of talking to him. But otherwise, I think just one point today, Baba said in the Murli, nothing, emerge, seed stage.
Exactly.
Automatically experience aa jayega. All these experiences which you listed out, we needn't think about it. Just keep trying the seed stage, as that's what I shared in the chat box. Emerging,
Yeah.
re-emerge the seed stage every day.
Yes.
Experiences just ऐसे आपके पीछे ही आ जाएगा.
Right.
But little we have to scold even Baba.
Yeah, we have right to be childish with Baba. If we are not going to do that, who's going to do that? And Baba never says that always be serious, and don't be. You need to keep that childish somewhere inside you. Baba also says, na, bachpan ke din bhula na dena. So with that, not just the knowledge and all the experience of that childish, but childhood, or that new fresh experience of the knowledge, but also a bit of childish is okay with Baba. He's fine with that. So we can say that to Baba, we have that right. How Baba is going to respond, that is Baba's lookout. We are not going to in that. But yes, we have that right. We can be a bit foolish or childish with Baba. That's okay. And all right. So if anyone have any other point, we'll continue, or we'll have 2 minutes of silence. We have a lot of to experiment in the whole day today. So we can start planning that right now here in the meditation, and we'll continue the remaining part tomorrow at the same time, 5 a.m. Thank you very much to all of you for your time and giving me this opportunity. Om Shanti. Now we'll be in the meditation for 2 minutes. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Yogita Ben. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a wonderful day.